50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 615. Today is Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. Okay, we're almost halfway through the first month of the year already. How you doing?
Yeah, it's going by pretty quick. Shockingly, weather's been, let's just say, pretty damn decent up in the East Coast for January. Been seeing some 50-degree days, 40-degree days, so that's good. Coming off a wild Sunday night football deal.
Yeah.
Let's just say interesting Monday night football game. Let's get into it.
Yeah, we'll recap both Sunday night, Monday night. We got the whole coaching carousel as well. So yeah, we'll talk about that, and then we got NBA picks and props later on in the show. We got the national championship coming up next week, and we got divisional round, kid. We'll talk about that as well. So we will start in New England, where the first half was kind of ugly. I'm not gonna lie, 6-3. And then the defense came out and was like, you know what, we're going to shut this shit down. And I think the turning point, once they intercepted, or that kind of fluke interception that Drake made, kind of, it was like a tip ball, and they got it within like the 15 or 10 yard line, and they didn't get any points. I said, oh, that's over. I said, it's over. And I'm a Justin Herbert, I don't want to say apologist, but I believe in Justin Herbert. The handshake after, where you had 6 years in the NFL and still haven't gotten a playoff win, and Drake May gets it in his first ever playoff game. Ooh, that handshake must have been tough for him, but defense was phenomenal. Your defense was phenomenal. Justin Herbert didn't play good. They didn't run the ball well. They couldn't do anything offensively. I'll say this, spinning it positively for the Chargers, defense was not the problem. It was the offense.
Yeah, the defense was clearly not the issue. Defensively, I think the Chargers came in and executed their game plan. You know, they frustrated Drake May. They made Drake May uncomfortable. They got constant pressure, able to get 5 sacks on Drake May, made him turn the ball over twice with a fumble and a interception. I'll be honest, still, first half, definitely was nervous. No doubt about it, was nervous. But in the second half, though, what Mike Vrabel and that defense was able to do, Milton Williams, the rest of the guys, Tunson as well, still, we was just constantly getting after Justin Herbert. No, don't get me wrong. We know they're down 2 all-pro players in Joe Alt and Matthew Slater. But I don't think nothing would have stopped.
That wasn't helping either.
Yeah, I don't think nothing would have stopped that defensive line, especially in the second half. Justin Herbert went a damn near a whole quarter without a passing yard.
That's crazy.
A whole quarter without a passing yard. So I think that just speaks volumes to our defense. And yes, don't get me wrong, not the prettiest win, not the most impressive win, but the fact that Drake May arguably had one of his worst games of the season, and we still won this game, you know, down the stretch convincingly, to me tells me everything I need to know. Rajon Stevenson, he looked pretty damn good, as well as catching the ball, as well as running the ball, though. So, and this also adds on to what I've been saying all season long. Every week, there's somebody else that steps up offensively, and it was Stevenson on Sunday, though. He led the team in rushing. Well, Drake May did have 66 yards, so shout out Drake May. But Stevenson led the team in receiving with 75 yards. 53 yards as well rushing. That's pretty damn great, you know. And you had a guy, Hunter Henry, with the tutty, 3 catches, 64 yards. Keyshawn Boutte, he's been dealing with an injury down the stretch of the season. He came on, had 4 catches, 66 yards. So to me, any given Sunday, a different guy could step up on our offense, and we've been seeing it all year. To me, the Patriots are going to be a tough out because our defense looks like it's gelling, and I don't expect Drake May to turn the ball over 2 times next week. I don't expect Drake May to have an under 60% completion percentage next week. That's just unlike him. So
I mean,
love every
that Houston Texans defense we saw on Monday, they were flying.
they were flying, Dill, but I got to give credit to Chargers defense. They showed up.
They did.
They
They were
showed up.
flying. And
So
Jesse Minter, the DC, coming over from Michigan with Harbaugh. Well, we're going to talk about the coaching carousel in a minute. He's going to get some looks. The defense was not the issue. It was definitely the offense.
and as you can see, Greg Roman already got the boot.
He got the boot as well, which he should. You mentioned it. He has been with Jim Harbaugh. He's the only OC with him from San Francisco from 2011 to 2014 when he was in San Francisco when they went on that run, and then with the Chargers for obviously this year. Side note, Christian Gonzalez in concussion protocol. He was ruled out after the game. They really didn't need him because offensively, like we said, they couldn't do anything. But are you worried for the divisional round here?
No, just because Nico Collins most likely will be out with a concussion. So those two X each other out. And not for nothing, Christian Gonzalez is most likely, I'm not going to say he's going to play, but if it's one of the two, Christian Gonzalez is the most likely to go. Because Nico Collins was kind of scary. You know, he put his arms up. It was later in the game, and he also was carted off the field.
When they were saying when he was walking to the sideline, he didn't even know where the sideline was.
But yeah, you could tell when you're looking down. Like I'm not gonna say I'm an expert, professional, or anything like that. I just watched a shit ton of football, and I've seen players, hobbled to the sideline after a concussion, not able to walk straight, and then there's some players that just put their head down because they're not able to lift their head up. So I hope Nico Collins is honestly, as a Patriots fan, I hope he's there Sunday because I want to beat the Houston Texans at their very best. But as a realist, as a fanatic of the game, from what I saw, it's looking like Nico Collins will be a no-go this Sunday.
I mean, it wasn't even him. You got to worry about Christian Kirk.
He
was going crazy. We could get into that. I mean, that other game, and I don't think we expected it. Maybe after the first half, we're like, okay.
Real quick, Dick. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just got to say something about this. And you alluded to before we move on, you alluded to it already. Now, Justin Herbert, in his short NFL career, in his 6 seasons, he's 0-3 in the playoffs. I don't want to, like you say, you're not a Justin Herbert apologist. Me either. But there's no doubt Justin Herbert, under the right circumstances, he's a top 10 quarterback talent. I think there's no question about that. Now we got to question, can he be that guy when the lights shine the brightest? Can he be that guy when it matters the most? And not for now, we saw him blow a 23 point lead,
something like that,
against Jacksonville, against Trevor Lawrence. Last year's loss, didn't look good. And then this game, Dill, we know how good Justin Herbert is. He went 19 for 31, 0 touchdowns. Honestly, he didn't throw a pick, but we saw how much he was under pressure. We saw him turn the ball over with the fumble, Dill. Eventually we got to ask the question, is Justin Herbert that guy? I think he is. There's no doubt where his talent level is. But eventually, you got to show up come playoff time. There's no reason why. Don't get me wrong, the Patriots are a very good team, very good defense. There's no reason why Justin Herbert, a top 10 talent, is only able to score 3 points on them with numerous short field attempts.
Yeah, it was a bad look on Sunday night. It was against a good defense. There's no explanation for the 20-point lead that they blew last year.
3 years ago, I think.
3 years ago,
Yeah.
But I don't have an excuse as to why he just doesn't show up. Some guys are just regular season quarterbacks. I'm not an apologist, but I think he is a top 10 quarterback. He has the talent of a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt he's top 10 talent.
It's
player.
just when he gets into the postseason, it seems that like he's thinking too much instead of just playing. Like there was clean pockets, even against New England, where he could have sat back and tried to hit Ladd McConkey, tried to hit Quinston, excuse me. But it seemed like he wanted to run a lot. And I didn't understand that. Maybe the pocket was collapsing quicker than it seemed like, but I don't know. The question is fair. Is he made for the postseason? The answer right now is no. And that's fair. I mean, the same critics are for Lamar. Can they win the big one? He's gotten to the AFC Championship, but can he get to the Super Bowl? He hasn't. As good as he is, two-time MVP of the league, the critics are valid. As much as I'm a Lamar fan and I like Justin Herbert, they shrink when the light shine the brightest. I think it's a fair criticism, if I'm being honest. So it was a tough look, and it's been a tough look in the postseason. CJ Stroud, though, I mean, I was watching the game sitting there being like, is David Mills around?
Yeah. First half was questionable.
It was bad, bro. I'm sitting there like David Mills ain't and it's funny because the whole season he wasn't really turning the ball over. CJ Stroud, that wasn't his forte. He turned the ball over so many times. He was not good. And the first half, Pittsburgh's defense kept them in the game. When you have 3-4 turnovers and you only score 6 points, that's just unacceptable. I'm not saying that's a fireable offense, but like that is a bad look. And I think we saw the end of Aaron Rodgers. It was funny that his last throw was a pick six. I'll say that. I think that's kind of funny. And I'd be mad if I was like Aaron Rodgers, be like, why'd you put Mason Rudolph? Give me one more. I'm gonna throw a dart for my last throw. I ain't gonna go out like that. But Steelers, they've lost each of their last 7 playoff games dating back to 2016, the AFC Championship game. It's the longest playoff losing streak in franchise history, and none of the last 5 games, honestly, have been competitive. They've lost by double digits in all 5 of them. So it was tough. The defense has shown you why they're a top 2 defense, the Texans. I mean, Danielle Hunter, I don't want to – maybe I'm overreacting, but, man, I think on stats alone, this guy is a Hall of Famer. What he's doing is ridiculous, and he doesn't get talked about. Everything's about, the secondary with Stingley Jr., Will Anderson. Obviously, he's a beast as well, and they don't even blitz, kid. They're bringing just 4.
4, yeah.
It's scary to see. I know you're watching the same thing I am, but yeah, I'm just in awe of the defense, of how good they are. And without Nico Collins, Christian Kirk had a hell of a game, over 100 yards and that touchdown. So it was great to see. And this defense can be flying. It's going to be a low-scoring game between you two.
Yeah, Dale. Let's start with the offense, because there's not much to really talk about the defense. That was a stellar performance. We saw CJ Stroud settle into the game. We saw him miss a couple overthrows early on where the game could have got broken open early. We saw him miss Nico a couple times. We saw him overshoot some guys. We saw 5 fumbles from CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud had, I think, 2 fumbles all season long. We saw him lose 2 fumbles on Monday night alone. We saw him throw an interception. CJ Stroud did not look good. I was with you. Let's just say I didn't go on Twitter or anything and say put Davis Mills in, but I was thinking it, because at one point, after multiple snap fumbles, it's not like it was bad snaps. Yeah, maybe the ball was a little more, right or left than center. But as a quarterback, you got to come down with those balls. So I feel like CJ Stroud was just either, I'm not going to say in tune, but I'm going to just say it took a while to get settled into the game. And after he got settled in, Dale, we saw CJ Stroud damn near at his best. Couple dimes to Christian Kirk. Willie Marks ran the hell of the ball. Yeah, shout out Willie Marks. First career playoff game, 112 yards with a tutty. Not for nothing there. You know what else looked good when Willie Marks went down with that injury for a couple plays? Nick Chubb also ran the ball pretty damn well. So it was kind of surprising when CJ Stroud was struggling with those, multiple fumbles with their interception. This settled back to the running game, and the running game was able to do most of the damage. Let's not forget that 14 play drive, their second longest in Texas playoff history. I think it was 92 yards. Majority of those came after majority of the yards came from rushing after CJ turned the ball over 2 times already. So
Yeah.
the fact that the offense never gave up on CJ Stroud, where I was honestly questioning it, to me that speaks volumes. So shout out Christian
I
Kirk.
also think the reason to that real quick is because the defense was always on the field. They were gassed.
Gas.
They were gassed, and you saw it. And they just kept running the ball. And we got a question from Wilbur_Nola. Do you guys believe in CJ? Dude just needs to play smart, and they could get it done with that defense. I agree. If you take care of that ball, but I mean, that offense didn't even score any points off of what did they score? 3 points off of the turnovers. But if he does that against the Patriots, they will make him pay.
Yeah, that's the thing. If CJ Stroud, let's for example, has 2 fumbles, has an interception, the Patriots are going to win the game. The Patriots ain't going to go. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers started the game like 0 for 5 or 0 for 6 on third down. That's just, and give credit to Houston's defense, but I just don't think that's going to happen to us. Give credit to the Texans as well. They were like 9 for 14
on
for
third down.
Yeah,
they were great on third down on Monday.
So I feel like that was one of the main reasons they won. Third down comparison, time of possession comparison, but realistically, it was the defense. Will Anderson, Deanna Hunter, that secondary. What's the other? I think safety that plays like a back. Ozzie Scherer, he had himself a nice game as well. There is multiple guys on that defense that don't get enough spotlight on them, and they're played phenomenal. Though, like you said, Aaron Rodgers, that offense couldn't do much. We saw him; he looked like the 41-year-old quarterback that he is. He's not really as mobile as he used to be. Got sacked 4 times, had a QBR 14.3. Besides the first quarter, DK Metcalf was shut down.
He dropped it. He's garbage.
Yeah, the running game was non-existent. And to be honest, the only guy that got open multiple times, shockingly, was Adam Thielen.
And he just retired today.
And he just retired. So, give credit to Houston's defense. They were highly impressive. It's just
the defense was ridiculous.
Yeah, the defense was ridiculous. And give credit to the Steelers because their defense did their part. I understand down the stretch it got a little nasty, but the defense kept them in the game. When you was able to get 3 turnovers, 5 total fumbles, you did your part. So shout out Houston Texans. Enough for that. Shout out the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shout out Mike Tomlin for a hell of a career in Pittsburgh. Never had a losing season, but after 9 years of no postseason success, 5 straight losses in the playoffs. All 5 of those losses, you were also down by 20 points. I think it was time to go. So,
real quick on Mike Tomlin, you mentioned it. Historic. I mean, he was the longest tenure coach outside of John Harbaugh. Now it's Andy Reid in Kansas City, but historic. 19 season run in Pittsburgh. And they're going to be just looking for their 4th coach since 1969. That's fucking crazy. But 19 seasons, you mentioned it, never had a losing season. He was a Super Bowl champ, 193 and 114 regular season record. So I guess that's how we could transition into the coaching carousel. I mean, I kind of want to start in order, and then we'll kind of go from there. But there's a lot of openings. We heard that after the tough loss the Packers faced to Chicago, we all thought maybe, hey, Matt LaFleur, gone. But actually, they're working to try to remain a deal. He is on his last year on his deal, so he only has 1 year left. But both sides, they want clarity moving forward, and they're going to work out a deal. Are you surprised Matt LaFleur is most likely going to stay in Green Bay?
Absolutely not, though. I think Matt LaFleur is one of, maybe lost some credit after blowing that, multiple double digits leads against the Bears, but the Bears are a good team. Bears been coming back on teams all season long. I think Matt LaFleur is one hell of a coach. There's no doubt about it. And if they didn't blow that lead, let's just say he was just a little more aggressive with the play calling to start the second half, we would not be having this conversation. Matt LaFleur would be once again in the divisional round of the playoffs. This man has been to an NFC championship game with multiple quarterbacks. So, oh no, sorry, excuse me. Jordan haven't reached an NFC championship game, but you can't deny the offensive play calling, the success, the winning percentage that Matt LaFleur has endured in Green Bay. And not for nothing, Dill, I think it would be a tough spot to fill. I think Matt LaFleur is the right coach for Green Bay. I think he's the right uh head coach for Jordan Love because Jordan Love was not the issue. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't that great in the second half, but still, Jordan Love had 4 passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
He did his part, so I'm not shocked at all that Matt LaFleur is not. I mean, I'm not shocked at all that one, he still has his job, and two, that he's getting a contract extension. To me, it's well deserved. Don't get me wrong. Was the outside noise deserved after that loss? Absolutely. But it doesn't change the fact that he's one of the best head coaches in all of football.
Yeah, he's definitely a top 10 NFL head coach, and there's not a lot of them. But I think it's also, like, two things could be true. I think it's also fair to make the criticism when he has a lead, he changes how he calls plays.
Yeah, especially in the second half.
I don't know why. You need to step on these people's necks because this league is unforgiving. The Bears are good now. The Bears are gonna come back and beat you, and they've shown it. Ben Johnson.
The whole division is good.
The whole division. So I don't know why he takes the conservative route when he has a lead. Not even just this last playoff game. He's done it in his tenure in Green Bay. So I don't understand why he does it. It needs to change, but I agree with you. I think the outside noise was warranted, but he is like, who are you going to replace him with? I know there are guys out there, but
really, is there really a better offensive play caller available at the moment?
Unless Kyle Shanahan is on the market, which he's not.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I like some of these offensive guys, but
like who? Kevin Patullo?
He
just got fired.
I like Mike McDaniels. Do I think he's a better head coach than? No. I like Brian Daboll. Do I think he's a better head coach? No. I like Cliff Kingsbury. I like Cliff Kingsbury. Do I think he's a better head? No. I like Brian Callahan, even though didn't work out, but I think he's potential there. He's not a better head coach. So realistically, Kevin Stefanski, I think we all respect Kevin Stefanski.
He's not better. No.
So
I know, I agree.
Like I said, noise was correct, but who's better out there than him? Available. Not saying he's the best coach in football, people. I'm just saying available.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna do something dramatic like bring in Dion.
And even then, I don't think it's better. And then obviously this was expected. You just couldn't keep going with Kevin Patullo. Eagles fired him. Eagles are now going to be going for their 5th OC in 5 years, with 2 of them obviously leaving for head coaching jobs. Kellen Moore,
real quick.
Yeah,
real quick. Dude. I think that shows how good Jalen Hurts is. Still, every year as the Eagles quarterback, he has a different offensive coordinator. Every year, they're pretty damn good. Give this man a steady offensive coordinator for 3 years. Watch how his game develops.
I think that when that video came out, when it was the last play of the game, and it was Kevin Patullo, Jalen Hurts, and Nick Sirianni, and he mutters a play that he wanted to run, and you could read the lips, and Nick Sirianni's like, are you sure that's the play? And Jalen Hurts is like, I don't know if this is the play on 4th down for our season.
He ran 4 verticals. They ran not 4
verts. They were playing Madden. Yeah. They ran 4 verts. So, you don't believe Shady McCoy, because Shady McCoy got some contacts. I don't know if you heard. He came out and said Jalen Hurts has to be special, but his sources, quote unquote, said that Jalen Hurts is the reason why their offense is so vanilla. He can't do, obviously, like what Patrick Mahomes could do or Justin Herbert could do. So he's the reason. But at the end of the day, what can you really say? Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl MVP.
I'm going to say 2 things could be true. Can his offensive play be a little vanilla at times? Yes. But last year under Kellen Moore, he was honestly one of the biggest dual threats in all of football, running and passing the ball.
Yeah.
We saw him in the Super Bowl. He was impressive. We haven't seen that type of play calling in the Super Bowl. I mean, since the Super Bowl, we haven't seen Saquon rush for the amount of yards he's been rushing since last year with Kellen Moore. So I think it was, I'm not going to throw Kevin Petula under the bus, but I think he was the main reason why the offense took a step back. It wasn't just Jalen Hurts' play; it was everybody's play.
Yeah. Real quick, just going. Now there's 9 openings for head coaching moves.
Real quick, just for the record, Pittsburgh Steelers, Atlanta Hawks, Baltimore Ravens,
Falcons.
I said Hawks, Atlanta Falcons, Miami Dolphins, Cleveland Browns, New York Giants, Arizona Cardinals, Las Vegas Raiders, and the Tennessee Titans. Dill, which job do you think will get filled first?
The Giants. And I
Not
think
for nothing, it's a cool job. I wouldn't want it.
Really?
The
reason real quick why I like it, and they've interviewed a lot of people right now, and they're really
Harbaugh was just
and they're gonna go push for him, which makes sense. I think because Mike Tomlin, it doesn't seem like he's gonna coach.
Allegedly, he's taking the year off.
Yeah, which he might go the Sean Payton route, and even if you want Mike Tomlin, Steelers own their rights, so you'd have to trade for him. The reason I like it more than the Dolphins, obviously Raiders, Cardinals, Falcons, Browns, maybe not the Ravens. I think the Ravens is the best spot, but you have a quarterback. You don't have a quarterback in all those other places. It's a good. I like Jackson Dart. They got a running game. They're gonna get Malik Nabers back, who, when healthy, is a top 10 wide receiver. He just needs to stay on the field. They got some pieces on defense. They're gonna have a nice draft pick. It's an attractive job.
Yeah. Look, there's no denying that it's an attractive job, though. But I just feel like the Giants are in desperate need for a winning situation, and as a head coach, if you don't deliver that right away, I think you'll get fired soon.
They gave Brian Daboll a few years.
Yeah, but Brian Daboll also, didn't at the time. Daniel Jones wasn't playing like Daniel Jones, what we saw in Indiana. Yeah. Now everybody has expectations. Oh, Jackson Dart might be that guy. You know what comes with all that, Dill? Expectations,
yeah. So they're pushing hard for him. Ravens, they've completed a few interviews. They interviewed Browns defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter, Brian Flores as well. Ravens, real quick, because I think that's an attractive job. You got 2-time league MVP Lamar. You got Derrick Henry. You got Zay Flowers. You got some pieces on defense. Who do you want in Baltimore?
I'll be honest. One of the names right there was Brian Flores, just because I feel like the defense needs to step up. You're in the AFC North.
They have the best safety in the league in Kyle Hamilton.
Exactly. So I feel like we already know what Lamar Jackson is capable of doing. I think you could bring in a nice, offensive coordinator and possibly elevate Lamar Jackson.
You want Todd Monken's job, God.
I'm not saying Todd Monken's job, but let's just be honest. That's Harbaugh's guy. So
yeah,
if I'm looking outside, I think Brian Flores is a hell of a name. Don't get me wrong. Can I see somebody like a Pete Carroll? I feel like somebody like with some stature is gonna come in, not just like let's just say an offensive or defensive coordinator is going to come in making their NFL debut as a coach. So I feel like it's going to be a proven NFL coach. I'm not saying Brian Flores is proven, but the man been there and done that. My man been on the Super Bowl sideline, right? We saw the job he been doing in Minnesota. I understand Miami wasn't the best thing, but my man was forced or at least told to tank.
That's crazy.
He got paid to tank. There's no doubt about it. So if we want to take that, let's just take Miami out of it. He had success as a DC in New England.
Anywhere.
He had success everywhere. And there's no doubt about it. The Vikings defense is pretty damn good. Led by Brian Flores.
Yeah, they ended the season really well. One name, and I think these two I really wanted to get your opinion on. The Falcons and the Dolphins. Mike McDaniel, he was interviewed, and so was John Harbaugh for the Falcons.
See, I could see Mike McDaniel going to Atlanta.
I like that.
To me, they're just a quarterback away.
That's the thing. That's why I said I like the Giants better, because you obviously it's not Kirk Cousins. Who are you going to go with? Michael Penix? I'm not sold on Michael Penix. I know you're probably not either.
Yeah, if I'm Atlanta, I'm going to see what Daniel Jones' agent talking about.
Yeah, so he's interviewed, and then you also have for the Dolphins, Kevin Stefanski. He interviewed for the Miami job.
Not for nothing. I expect Kevin Stefanski to definitely get a job. Do I see him going to Miami? No, I just don't picture him coaching the Miami Dolphins. You know, not for now, I could see him as a Steelers coach, Kevin Stefanski. I could see him as the Giants coach. I could see him as, not for nothing, even the Raiders coach, Kevin Stefanski. Still, I just don't think Miami will fit him. I don't know. I just don't see him there. That's just my personal opinion.
Real quick, before we get to these basketball plays, I want to ask you, or I want you to make a statement talking about the Vikings. Receiver Jordan Addison was arrested again early on Monday morning. He was charged with a misdemeanor and trespassing in Tampa, Florida. That's 2 times he was arrested. 3 times, thank you, in the last 4 years.
3 straight off seasons.
What are we going to say to get through to this guy? Because he is talented. Mm-hmm. Now, does he make the smartest decisions off the field? No. But on the field, he is a great receiver. What is the problem?
As a Jordan Addison fantasy owner, Jordan Addison started the 2025 season on a 6-game suspension due to a DUI, I believe, last season. The year prior to that, he was arrested for, I think, going 110 miles per hour in St. Paul. Yeah. You know, as a young man, I never had millions of dollars, but, you know, if I had millions of dollars, I would buy a nice car and go pretty damn fast as well at 21, 22. So I'm not going to blame Jordan Addison on his first incident. But DUI, bro, you know better. You've been drinking since poly college. You know better. You shouldn't be drinking and driving. Always advocate that on the show. Don't drink and drive. There's so many services out there. Call an Uber, call a Lyft, call whatever you need. And now with this trespassing in Florida. Clearly, he was having a great time in Florida. He was under the influence, and now he got a trespassing charge. So clearly, let's just say Jordan Addison is either, let's just say, not considering the position he's in as seriously as he should in the all season, or he's just around a poorly judgment of a group of guys.
And if they're your friends, they're really not your friends because they're saying this shit's cool.
Yeah, so if I'm Jordan Addison, if I'm like a mentor, if I'm a father, uncle, older brother, something like that, I'm gonna tell him, yo, it's time to cut it out, bro. You know, you probably just cost yourself $20 to $40 million. I think Jordan Addison, I'm not sure if he was on his last year of his deal. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets $15 to $25 million a season. You know, depending what team out there is willing to spend that back.
But he's Jordan, a liability now.
Exactly. So now, to me, you just cost yourself millions of dollars. I'm not sure if there's, you know, is going to be a handful of teams out there to line up to acquire your services. I think there's no doubt on your talent. But what's going to happen next year? If you have 3 straight years of all-season issues, is no reason for me to believe that that's going to just stop out of nowhere.
They need to ship them to New England and learn the Patriot way and get it all cut out.
And not for nothing, Minnesota's quiet. I'm not
not right now.
Not right now. It's kind of going on, but Minnesota ain't Miami. Minnesota ain't New York. No. You know, it ain't Dallas, Texas. It ain't
especially when he was bugging. There was nothing going on in Minnesota. So to go 120 or 110, whatever you were doing in St. Paul, and I've been in St. Paul, it is the equivalent to like Montclair. Suburban, quiet city. So you stick out like a sore thumb, 1. And 2, you're ripping it. You think the cops are everywhere, bro.
They got nothing to do. It's cold.
It's cold in Minnesota. And Lil Yachty was right. It is cold in Minnesota, so you just made their day. So yeah, he needs to grow up, I think.
And he's costing himself millions of dollars.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a very good point financially as well. Sky Johnson, Delaware said, "Who do you guys want to win the Lombardi?" Well, obviously, Elvis wants the Patriots to win. He's a Patriot fan.
Realistically,
the Patriots.
Like taking bias aside, like taking my Patriots out of it.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to say this, but I think Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
Oh no, they're my least.
No, Jill, I understand, but Josh Allen has a chance to solidify himself in NFL history.
Got to get through Denver now,
right? What's been the issue?
Joe Burrow, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Lamar Jackson.
He just can't get over none of those guys.
Yeah.
This year, I'm not saying he has a wide open, track to the Super Bowl.
But Trevor Lawrence and Bo Nix.
Like, realistically, you're going to have to beat Trevor Lawrence, Bo Nix, and then Drake May or CJ Stroud.
I'm not laughing, but that's
what I mean. So I'm not going to say who do I want to lift the trophy, but I'm going to say
it'd be cool as a fan.
As a fan. I'm a Patriots fan. I do not want this to happen. Yeah. But it will solidify Josh Allen as a generational quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
So, Bills, and not for nothing, as my take, it will be the San Francisco 49ers. Just because they've been there multiple times. I think Kyle Shanahan has been to, 4 NFC championship games if he gets there this time around. He's been to multiples. He's been to 3 Super Bowls, lost all 3. That's just a hard break. So if he's able to overcome it this year with all the injuries, I would love to see Kyle Shanahan win the Super Bowl.
Sky Johnson, Delaware, he is a Niner fan, and he goes, "I'm a Niner fan. He didn't think they were going to beat the Eagles, and then
I did. Yep. Give me the plus 5.5. Give me the plus 225 dog of the day."
Yeah, honestly, I was just gonna say though, Niners are one of my teams. That wouldn't be nice because I've been on them a few. You could pencil them in the NFC Championship every time they're in the playoffs. They just reach the NFC Championship.
Kyle Shanahan as a head coach has never lost a wild card. He's 7-0 wild card weekend.
He's a Hall of Famer coach. I mean, what are we talking about?
No, wild card and divisional round. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
Every time he got to the playoffs, he reaches the NFC Championship game or Super Bowl.
That's why I'm saying they're gonna win this week. And my winner and who I want is gonna come out of that game. I'm a Jet fan, but I'm rooting for Sam Darnold. I think the Jets ruined him, and I think with that defense, I think Mike McDonald is a hell of a coach. That defense is top 2 in the league. They have a good running game. JSN, shout out the Buckeyes. He's a top 5 receiver in the league. He had his career year. I think those 2 stories. And Kyle Shanahan, say what you want. He's arguably having his best coaching season with all the guys going down, riddled with injuries, and they're in the divisional round again. I mean, George Kittle's not going to be there. He's washed. If they wind up beating Seattle with this team, they're winning it all. Like,
he should be coach of the year. He wins this game, he should be coach of the year.
100%. And obviously George Kittle's not, and Christian McCaffrey is having a hell of a year, staying healthy. Brock Purdy's doing well. And Fred Warner, he opened up the practice window. If they make the championship or the Super Bowl, he might be back.
Not for nothing. I think if they make the NFC Championship game, he's going to play.
And Robert Salah, another Jet, he needs to be held on a pedestal as well. What he's doing with all the injuries, Bobby Salah should be defensive coordinator of the year. I mean, I'm rooting for those 2. I'm rooting for either the San Francisco 49ers or
take. Yeah. Bobby Salah has a chance to be either the Browns, the Ravens, or the Steelers' next head coach. I'll tell you that right now. He has a shot.
It. Yeah, he should. He should get a second chance. Jets did him dirty. They made him the scapegoat. That's fucked up. All right.
Not for nothing. If he reaches the NFC Championship game, I think it will be hard not to give him a job. Especially with all those injuries on that side of the ball. And now you beat the number 1 seed, Seattle.
Give it to
offense. At Seattle,
which you just got embarrassed a few weeks ago.
And the defense wasn't the issue. They only allowed 13 points. If, for example, Dill, if he holds that Seattle offense to 13 points again, he will have a job midweek.
Sky, you have to believe. They've said this the whole year. Bobby Salah got the boys playing. None of the linebackers you had in the wild card game against the Eagles were on your starting roster. And look what you did. I know it was not the best offense, but you have a chance. You have Kyle Shanahan and Bobby Salah. You have a chance. You need to believe. Trust
And
me.
not for nothing, if Brock Purdy doesn't turn the ball over, I said this before the postseason started, 49ers has a chance to reach the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If Brock Purdy goes in the game and at the end of the game he has 0 interceptions, I will most likely think 49ers won the game.
All right, kid, let's get to it. We will talk about the NBA real quick, but before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor, brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by a San Francisco World Spirit competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or watching the NBA, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. I believe here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid. Obviously no football right now, but we do have some games here tonight in the NBA. Only a few games. Your Nets are on the road taking on the Pelicans. Pelicans -1.5. My Knicks, they're on the road taking on the Kings. But yeah, well, any plays you like here for tonight?
Tonight, really just the only matchup I really like is Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the 76ers. Not for that, I do like Cleveland on the road tonight, -105. And then for tomorrow, for the listeners, few games for tomorrow. The player prop, not for none. I would like KD's. No props out yet, but I think KD will have a big game against the Thunder. So I would like KD over his points. The right now Houston's catching 4.5 at home. We just saw OKC dominate the Spurs the other night. I will kind of lean the 4.5, but I expect KD to have a big game. Your New York Knicks taking on the Golden State Warriors. Your Knicks are playing tonight. I think they're 11 and a half.
11.5, yeah.
Yeah, 11.5 point favorite against the Kings. I would assume y'all be favored tomorrow. I would take Golden State just because y'all on a back-to-back deal. I would take Golden State plus the points. But for the plays for tomorrow, deal, Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Orlando Magic at Orlando. Over-under sitting at 231.5. Give me the Magic. I'm going to lay the 4.5, 5.5 here at home. I think Desmond Bane has a revenge spot. We hear all the noise speculating about John Morant. When he's going to get traded. Will he get traded? I think Orlando takes care of business here. I think Desmond Bane has a big game as well. Next game, Phoenix Suns taking on the Detroit Pistons. To me, this is going to be a great game. Now for none, Devin Booker versus your boy
Cade Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham. I don't know why I couldn't say it, but give me the plus 6.5 on the road with the Phoenix Suns. I think we were both on it on the preseason. Phoenix Suns over under win total was like 28.5. Was so disrespectful. They're already a 24-win team. Give me the plus 6.5 on the road. I think they'll keep it nice and tight. Honestly, I think they might be live for the win as well. Next game, Boston Celtics taking on the Miami Heat. Celtics lane 2 on the road. Dale, give me the Celtics. I'm going to lay it here on the money line. If you want to lay the 2 by all means. Give me the -126 on the money line. Boston Celtics has lost 2 straight. I doubt they make it 3. Miami, they're good, but they've also been struggling. They lost 3 out of their last 5 games as well. Give me Boston. I doubt they lose 3 straight. Give me the -126 on the money line. And like I said, I like KD's over point total against his former team. It's just the numbers not out yet.
Real quick, Props.Cash. We are presented by Props.Cash.com. Best way to research your player props. And yeah, code DREAM25 for 25% off your first month. DREAM25. Kid, I like a prop here tonight, and that's going to be Mikal Bridges over 3.5 assists. He's gone over this. It's a short number against a bad Sacramento team. He's gone over this number in 8 of his last 10, including 3 straight, 5, 4, and 6. Over 3.5. It's a little chalky at -147, but sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze. I like Mikal Bridges. I think he could have a big game here tonight, and I think we cover the number. So I like Mikal Bridges over 3.5 assists here. But, kid, that's going to do it. I know you won't be here on Friday, but make sure you send in our picks for the divisional round. Should be good. Joe will be here on Friday around 5:30.
I tell you what, though, the line opened up Patriots -2.5. Within hours, it got to 3. Wouldn't be shocked is at 3.5 come Sunday.
Yeah, right now, Patriots -3, -174 on the money line. We will see where the number closes. Elvis, I will talk to you, but for the show, good luck, kid. It's going to be a hell of a week, and I know you'll be entrenched into it. But everyone, thanks for all the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be safe. Good luck on all your bets, and we will see you guys on Friday. Peace.